Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. Today, we're going to be talking about the news and events of the day, everything that we've seen develop since early this morning, everything news. Great. Cool. Cool. Bear with me. Oh my gosh. Here we go with this live stream. How are we doing? Are we even my bad, you guys. I apologize for that interruption. My goodness. Okay, good. We're live everywhere. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Vince Taglivia. Today we're going to be talking about Donald Trump, the latest news that we know about the attempt on his life the other day, as well as other news. Of course, we've got a lot going on. It's just absolutely crazy. So I'm happy to be here today with you guys to discuss this. Tonight, after the live stream, in a few hours, 8 p.m. Pacific time, you can join me on X, where I'll be hosting a space, a non-political space about dreams. So you're invited. Follow me on X at ReadyF4Any. Join me in this space. We're just going to be talking about dreams in general, lucid dreams, weird dreams, just things that people have dreamt about. And we're just going to talk about that because after talking about politics 24/7, I just wanted to have something a little off topic, a little non-political, fun, just relax, unwind for the night. So join me tonight on X for that space at 8 p.m. Pacific time. I'll put the link in the chat if you want to set a reminder for that. I'd love to see you there. I'm looking forward to it. And I'll keep my eyes on the chat here. If y'all have anything breaking that comes across your plate, share it. We'll cover it. But until then, we're going to talk about what we know so far, all the updates. And of course, I'm going to say this just as a disclaimer. I'm just reporting this, what's coming out from other news agencies, the official word, and showing you guys videos and whatnot, and all the latest coming out. I don't know anything. Like, I'm just a normal average Joe. I don't know anything with certainty. I think anybody that does is pulling your leg. We're just kind of looking at all the facts that are coming across the table. These things, this is a developing situation. So take things with a grain of salt. There's a lot of speculation out there. There's been information that's come out and then we found out to be false later. So just tread carefully, although hopefully we get to the truth of this at the end of the day. But man, we've got a lot of interesting things that have happened today. So without further ado, let's start getting into this stuff. Why don't we? If you guys saw, I don't know if you guys saw this image of Trump, or of course we've all been watching. I don't know if you guys noticed though. People are pointing out Trump looks different now. Alex at ALX on X pointed this out, and I used this image for the thumbnail because it is interesting. Alex said Donald Trump looks different. Donald Trump looks different after the assassination attempt. I can't put my finger on it exactly, but he just looks so much happier and at peace. Here's the image he's talking about, and he's right. It does look like he's happier and at peace. Look at this. That's Donald Trump with his ear bandaged up, holding up his fist. And yeah, he does look incredibly peaceful. This will probably be another iconic image of Trump forever in history. So many of them over the past week. And there's Tucker in the background, by the way. Pretty cool. And he does look different. I could imagine this has been just beyond stressful for Trump, and he's probably sat down and had a long time to think about everything. And man, this is Donald Trump now. It is interesting, an interesting thing that was pointed out there. Okay. Just kind of breaking as I was setting things up here was Politico saying that the Democratic Party is in complete meltdown right now. Politico reported that the Democratic Party is in total meltdown. So people are giddy online. Of course, other people aren't, but a lot of people seem to be like, no kidding. They've been on meltdown since Saturday, maybe even longer than that. So people are some people are enjoying it, other people not so much. But boy, yes, they are. It appears that may be true. So we'll hear more. But let's get into this stuff. Okay, so Joe Biden is sick. Joe Biden is sick. It was announced that Joe Biden has tested positive for COVID and that he could not attend the event today to speak because he has COVID. He even had his staff or whoever's in charge of his account go to X today and notify the world with this tweet simply stating, "I'm sick." There you have it. Joe Biden, out of the blue. They say he has COVID. He's tested positive for COVID. Can you believe this? A lot of people are saying they don't believe it. But that is what's happening in the news right now. Joe Biden's sick. My gosh, people are saying, well, this is just the beginning of them replacing him because, well, here's breaking 911. They put out a poll. How long before Joe Biden is forced to drop out of the race? And they've got about 6,000 votes so far. Well, 5,500. And majority of people say days. 22% say weeks. 1.6% says months. And 20% say it won't happen. So 55% say within days, Joe Biden will be forced to drop out of the race. Of course, we saw people coming out, Chuck Schumer, for example, and others saying, he should step down. It's probably best for the party. Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, we're kind of putting the pieces together. You could kind of tell a little bit of foreshadowing of what we could expect here. And it seems they're trying to push him out, especially with this whole COVID development that we saw just from this evening. Check this out. Here is insider paper. Biden tests positive for COVID-19, according to the White House. He's experiencing mild symptoms after testing positive for COVID, they write. He's on a campaign trip to Las Vegas on Wednesday. He was going to travel to his vacation home in Delaware, quote, where he will self-isolate and will continue to carry out all of his duties fully during that time. That was from spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre from her statement from today. So Joe Biden's self-isolating. He's being ushered off into the basement. I'm just kidding. I don't know where they're putting him, wherever he's self-isolating, but they say he's well enough to continue his duties. Take that for what you will. Real quick, let's go to the chat. Thank you all for joining. I didn't get a chance to thank you yesterday, Rumi. Thank you for the donation on DLive, and then today more donations. Thank you so much, Rumi. I appreciate your support, and it's good to see you. And we've got Sue in the house. Hi, Sue. Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Very good to see familiar faces. I appreciate y'all's support, tuning in, and enjoying the show. So thank you guys over on Pilled, DLive, Rumble, and YouTube, by the way, and X. That's all the places I stream. So thank y'all. Let's keep on going here. We've got a lot of very interesting stuff. So Biden said also, not only does he have COVID, but that he will consider dropping out of the race if a medical condition was diagnosed by his doctors. Yeah, that's right. Good evening. Hey, Dad. Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Biden says he will consider dropping out of the race if a medical condition was diagnosed by doctors. This was coming out just early this morning or this afternoon, depending if you're on the East Coast. Really interesting stuff. Actually, I have the clip here. Let's take a quick gander at that. Here it is.
If there had some medical condition that emerged, if the doctors came to me and said, you got this problem, that problem.
A few moments later.
The president has been at many events, as we all know, and he just tested positive for COVID.
Yeah. So he says, if a medical condition comes up, I'll consider stepping down. And then just not long after that, they announced that he has COVID. Like clockwork. We'll see what happens next. Adam Schiff even called for Biden to drop out of the presidential race, according to the LA Times. Shifty Schiff. Everyone's turning against Joe Biden. Yeah, pretty wild. Yeah, so Joe Biden has COVID. He said he'll consider stepping down if there's a medical condition. Here's a clip from MSNBC where they're questioning why isn't he wearing a mask as he gets on his plane here. Let's watch this.
We're looking at live pictures here of President Biden at the Las Vegas airport. He is, of course, still surrounded by his security detail, but he is en route to self-isolate, according to a new statement from the president's doctor and White House Press Secretary Jean-Pierre.
Hear that in the background? I'm going to rewind.
From the president's doctor and White House Press Secretary Jean-Pierre. Go ahead. I couldn't hear that. Is that the doctor? No. So we're watching President Biden go up the steps here. He has just tested positive for COVID. He has canceled the event he was going to do. You can see, of course, him boarding Air Force One.
Yep.
Wow. Doctor, the information from the president's doctor is what you were just responding to. At this very early stage, is that about...
Yeah. Watching him go up those stairs, too, it's just, he's so feeble. He looks very feeble. And they're asking, why isn't he wearing a mask? Geez, I wonder. It was so funny. I saw the Babylon Bee published an article that the Babylon Bee is a parody website. They said the Secret Service is investigating the stairs to go up onto the plane for trying to take Joe Biden's life. And in satire, the stairs were going to go after Joe Biden. It's pretty funny. My gosh. In light or despite of these wild times and kind of scary times, definitely scary times, people online are just going nuts with the memes and the jokes. You got Babylon Bee and the satire. You've got comedians molding their sets around politics and current events. And even in the toughest times, people still have good attitudes. Even Trump's out there. You guys see him every day. It's pretty good to see. Hopefully the country can be united and have a good time, improve. We had a statement today from Kamala Harris. In case you didn't catch that, we're going to play that back and hear what Kamala had to say today. Kamala Harris, she's outraged. Let's listen to what she had to say today on C-SPAN.
I do want to discuss briefly what happened on Saturday. I've not had a chance yet to publicly talk about it, but I will say a few words about the attempt on the life of former President Trump over the weekend. As we all know, it was a heinous, horrible, and cowardly act. My husband Doug and I are thankful he was not seriously injured. That day, as soon as we saw what was happening, we said a prayer for his well-being. And our thoughts immediately turned to Melania, who we have met, and their family. The bottom line is no one should have to fear for the safety of a loved one because they serve in public office. Our heart goes out to the family of Corey Comparator, a true hero who died protecting his family. And Doug and I, of course, are holding them close in our hearts. We are also wishing those who were critically injured that day a swift and full recovery. And we are thankful to the United States Secret Service, the first responders, and local authorities. The United States of America, I believe, is the greatest democracy the world has ever known. Yes. But in the aftermath of this weekend's shooting, one of the questions we now confront is about the way we should engage with one another in this campaign. On Sunday evening, our President Joe Biden issued a call for unity. And there must be unity around the idea that while our nation's history has been scarred by political violence, violence is never acceptable. There can be no equivocation about that. At the same time, the hallmark of American democracy, the hallmark of any democracy, is a strong competition of ideas, policies, and a vision for the future. And just as we must reject political violence, we must also embrace a robust discussion about what is at stake in this election. The surest way to reaffirm the strength of our democracy is by engaging in a vigorous and civil exchange of ideas. And one of the ideas and one of the principles that is at stake in this election is the issue of reproductive freedom. And that is why I am here today to discuss that topic. And I look forward to our...
So then they just switch over to reproductive freedom. She says the United States is the greatest democracy in the world. At least she's condemning violence and asking people to behave, which is great. Condemning violence. I mean, who would have thought we'd see the day? That's good. That's good. But people disagree with this, calling the United States a simple democracy. I hear it all the time. We debate about it online on X and whatnot. We have this conversation. Democracy, democratic republic. What's the difference? What's the truth? Right? My goodness. Yes, Jason. I know it's weird. Thank you for tuning in, Sermons, and everybody else. I appreciate you sharing the space over there or the live stream over there on X. That is great and good to see you. And thank you for tuning in, Jason, and everybody else. Oh my gosh. So Kamala, that's her statement from today. Okay. I'm just going to leave it at that. Rumi, this is all such a joke. Oof. Yeah. It's hard to watch. It is. I cringe at a lot of the things we're seeing. It's very cringeworthy. It's, to say the least. I will say that. It's just not good. So this was breaking earlier today, just an hour ago. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer reportedly told Biden it would be better for the country if he ended his re-election bid. Yep, Chuck Schumer, just one of many, who is starting to say, yeah, maybe Joe's not the best for the role. So people are just waiting. They think that Joe Biden's going to be out of the race. Interesting stuff. And he's not alone. It's a lot. And it's even celebrities, et cetera, et cetera. So I think it's true. I think they are in panic mode. I think they're trying to figure out what to do, how to win the election. And if it's not Joe, who is it going to be? Do they have a good path forward to have a realistic candidate against Trump right now? Because Trump's support is just skyrocketing. Every time an attempt is made to knock Trump down a rung on the ladder, he just becomes more powerful. We've seen it happen again and again and again. So, I mean, it's just getting more and more likely that Trump wins this election. I don't know what they're going to try to do here next on the Democrat side. So I'd love to hear all of your theories, thoughts, opinions, and possibilities. RM said, pinch me, please. I know. This is unreal. Today we had some really interesting footage come out from the hospital that Trump was rushed to after the assassination attempt on the 13th. That was the 13th, right? I think so. Somebody took a cell phone video from the hospital as they pulled up with Donald Trump, and they were all unaware of his current condition. They had heard that somebody had spotted blood on the president and that he had in fact been shot. And this footage came out early this morning. It's very powerful to watch their reaction. And I'll play this for you now.
We're front row, and my friend saw blood coming out of his head.
Oh my God! Oh Jesus!
There he is. Oh, there he is. There he is. There he is.
There he is. Oh, thank God!
He's walking. He's walking. We're front row.
If that's not a demonstration of how much people love Donald Trump, I don't know what is. The staff at this hospital were just very, very relieved to see Donald Trump walking into the hospital after this began unfolding. And and nobody actually knew his condition or state or anything like that. So, you know, and I'm seeing videos come out of California of protesters on highway bridges waving flags and posting up signs. I'm seeing flags have gone up in my neighborhood. More flags have gone up in my neighborhood, and I've seen more people putting on their Trump hats in public as well. So people are, I think, just reinvigorated to support Donald Trump, and I think it's going to be a red wave this election season. Yeah. So that video is powerful. They were so happy. Wow. I really love that. I really do. That was a good one. I've retweeted it if you want the original video over on X. All right. Let me check this chat over here. How are y'all doing over there on Pilled? Good? Good or great? Thank you for tuning in. Please like and repost and share and subscribe if you're new. Do all those things, and we're going to keep on going forward here. So this morning it was announced that the Homeland Security Inspector General opened an investigation into the Secret Service's handling of Trump's security at the rally. I think many people were expressing they were underwhelmed by that, just as they were underwhelmed with, the FBI's ongoing investigation. But it's being investigated, and we're getting information every day. We had the House Oversight Committee today issuing a subpoena. We're probably going to see a lot more where this came from. House Oversight Committee subpoenas the Secret Service director for first hearing on the assassination of President Trump. This is from today, July 17th, 2024. Congress of the United States, House of Representatives. It says Director Cheadle. The Committee on Oversight and Accountability, Oversight Committee, is investigating the July 13th, 2024 assassination attempt on former President Donald J. Trump. The Oversight Committee is subpoenaing you, Director of the U.S. Secret Service, to appear for a public hearing on July 22nd, 2024, titled, quote, Oversight of the U.S. Secret Service and the Attempted Assassination of President Donald J. Trump. The attached subpoena is issued pursuant to Rule X 1.2 M1B of the Rules of the House of Representatives and Rule 12G of the Oversight Committee's rules. So the subpoenas are going. And that was from James Comer to Kimberly Cheadle. Kimberly Cheadle. People are saying that she should resign immediately. And speculating on when she will resign. Days, weeks, months, never. There's a lot of questions about this. So that hearing will be on the 22nd. That is next Monday. So next Monday is going to be a huge day where we learn what happens there if she complies to the subpoena. Some people are saying she's not even going to comply. They have no confidence in law and order anymore. Jason, why won't Cheadle quit? Why won't Cheadle quit? I don't know. I guess they're sticking to their guns that everything was tip-top magoo. Everything was fine, right? That's what they're saying. They're not admitting any wrongdoing or negligence or anything like that. So we'll see what happens in the coming days, or even tonight, tomorrow morning. We'll see. So Wendy Patterson responded to this subpoena. Wendy Patterson on X, and she said, quote, the House has 8 total days to investigate the attempted assassination on Trump that killed 1 and injured 3 before they leave for another 38-day-long vacation. So they canceled the invitation and went straight to the subpoena that they should have initially sent her. So we see this kind of rush to investigate because they're going to be leaving. Chuck, thank you for pointing this out. Yeah, a surge a surge in shorting Truth Social. Before the assassination attempt, someone leaked something, but they got fooled, and the shorts expired on the 15th. There was an increase in short positions on Trump's Truth Social stock the day before the assassination, and so people are speculating that somehow people knew. I think that the information on who was purchasing these puts, which exceeds the typical number of puts bought, the information on who that is, I think will be coming out here soon too. So isn't that something? Yeah, Chuck, I saw that last night. That is absolutely not good for if there was knowledge of this beforehand, that indicates that it was a planned scenario, right? Oh my gosh. And a lot of people are speculating that there is some kind of conspiracy here. Yeah. You know, the old phrase, follow the money. They always say follow the money. So that may just be a huge story. We'll see what comes out more with that, but we already have the data of an increase in short positions the day prior. So not a good look. There's only so much that can happen. I mean, gosh, there's only so much that can happen that's coincidental before it's not, right? And Representative Paulina Luna came out. This is the GOP oversight representative, Paulina Luna. And she said that she's hearing something. She went to X and said this, quote, I am hearing that Mayorkas is pressuring Secret Service Director Cheadle not to testify on Monday. Corruption. This is what happens when Congress is not respected. Inherent contempt. Contempt of court. So it's already in the rumor mill. People are saying, for example, Anna here, that they're expecting them to just not comply. So we'll see what actually happens. It could just be, you know, this is just hearsay. This is rumors, but a lot of people are saying that that may be the case. Hopefully we could see. I don't know why wouldn't you want to comply with this investigation, right? Unless you have something to hide or something. I mean, it's suspicious to say the least. Let's see. Here we have a video from CNN. Oh my gosh. So this is a reporter talking about the Iranian threat. Yesterday, there was rumors that there was a separate threat made against the president, which is what led to the increased security measures for Trump at the RNC. They said that there's another plot to go after Trump by an Iranian, and that's pretty much all we know. People are saying, really? And here's a video from CNN regarding that.
Was every element, every part of his, from the intelligence to the counter assault team to the detail agents, the shift agents, I mean, every element top to bottom of the advance in the operation, was every element increased after you learned of this credible threat?
What we increased was what we felt was appropriate for the former president and for that particular event on that day. We have been increasing the assets and the resources and the staffing that we have been providing to the former president since he was a presidential candidate and then the presumptive nominee. That's what I can tell you.
That sounds like a no. Was every...
Yeah. So she said we increased it. What did she say exactly? I think it's quoted here. We gave him what we felt was appropriate. And the response from this reporter is pretty hilarious.
I can tell you.
That sounds like a no.
That sounds like a no. Hello, Army Mom. How are you? Thank you for tuning in. Good to see you tonight. So hopefully they're doing a good job with security, but these videos are... She didn't just say yes, right? You could just say yes. I don't know. Thank you, Army Mom. I'm having a fine evening. I hope you're having a fine evening too. So, more information about the Secret Service and how this unfolded and some of the facts. Okay, this comes from the Secret Service. This was huge. I mean, people are just in disbelief and highly concerned as more facts begin to come out. Breaking 911 posted this. Breaking: Secret Service tells Congress they identified Thomas Crook.
Should be briefing today.
All right, we've got an interruption. Am I live? testing 1 2 testing 1 2, trying to do a live broadcast here. All right, sorry about that, folks. Let me just rewind here. We had this from Breaking 911. Secret Service tells Congress they identified Thomas Crooks as a threat at least 10 minutes before Trump walked on stage. There's other details as well. Let's hear this clip from Fox News.
Donald Trump took the stage. For more, we want to go to Aisha because there was a briefing today. You got some information about what happened, Aisha?
Dana, good afternoon to you. We just got a big information dump, and some of it is deeply, deeply troubling. So I'm going to hold your hand and walk you through this. Just bear with me here. A lot of notes that I'm going to look at here. Just about a couple minutes ago, these senators came out of this briefing with the Secret Service. They've been asking for it for days now. Finally got it with the director and Secret Service staff. And the top headline that has come out of it, according to Senator John Barrasso, just spoke to him as soon as he hung up on this briefing. He said that apparently the Secret Service had identified as a character of suspicion this man, this shooter, because they saw a rangefinder on him as well as a backpack. And this all happened more than an hour before the shooting actually occurred. So they saw the guy and they identified this guy as suspicious. Now, more details coming from a source familiar here who was also in the meeting tells me that about 10 minutes before former President Trump went onto the stage, they had gone from looking at this guy as suspicious to now looking at him as a threat. That is coming from this briefing that the senators were in. They were told that Secret Service had called it in to a center that this guy they now identified as a threat about 10 minutes before President Trump walked on stage, and they still allowed him to walk onto that stage. I'm told the Secret Service agent in charge there was on the phone with local and state police about the threat while the shooting was taking place. That's huge, and that is raising a
No kidding. That's huge, and that's raising a lot of questions, she was going to say. That's right. An hour prior to the shooting and attempted assassination of President Donald J. Trump at the rally on the 13th, an hour before, they had approached the shooter, discovered he had a rangefinder on him, and that he was a suspicious character. A rangefinder is basically like a binocular in some sense, utilized for scoping a target. They didn't find it necessary to make an arrest or detain and question, or maybe they did, but why was he let go? That was an hour before this event unraveled and they took Trump away to the hospital. And while the shooting occurred, there was a Secret Service on the phone with local police, and they were well aware of this in advance, that somebody was climbing and all this stuff. I don't know. I mean, I'm waiting for more, because no matter how you cut this, it's I don't know. I mean, how do you explain this? How do we explain this? This is why they're pushing for all these investigations and everything. And I mean, the cat's out of the bag. We heard earlier at the beginning of this broadcast, if you're tuning in late, the rumor is that there's panic. Politico called it total meltdown with the Democratic Party. I believe it. Politico reported that. Total meltdown. Wow. So that's probably the biggest bombshell of the day right there. The Secret Service told Congress they identified Thomas Crooks as a threat at least 10 minutes before Trump walked on the stage. So people are like, why was Trump allowed on that stage? The Trump camp was not notified. Breaking Out Alone wrote this too. The Secret Service agent in charge was on the phone with local police as the shooting broke out. Not good. I mean, what? And they just let Trump go out there with a threat that they were aware of. What's going on? Seriously. By the way, if you're just tuning in, please hit the like button. Leave a comment. You could leave a live comment. We're live. You could leave a comment after the fact, or, put it down below if you want it to stick around, and I will check it out and view it. Let me know what you think about all this stuff. And thank you for liking, subscribing, and watching this with me, or going over this news with me. Biden canceled his event. Like I said at the beginning of this broadcast, for those of you who are new, he has COVID. He put out a message on his X account saying, quote, "I'm sick." What I want to know is who's responsible for these ridiculous memes. Somebody put this out. This is, it says right here, grand old memes. Like I said, people still have a good sense of humor as all this stuff's unfolding. If Joe Biden has COVID, like they say, I hope he gets well soon. This is just, you can't make this stuff up. Joe Biden earlier said if his doctor says he has a medical condition that he would consider stepping down, just after Joe Biden said that today, he has COVID. He's been tested positive for COVID. What? What? Onward. Let's see what this is. Onward. There's a lot of speculation as to all the facts and details of this shooting. Punchbowl is reporting that the Senate briefing on the Trump rally shooting just concluded. Top lines per two senators on the call were this, and this is what the insider is reporting that Punchbowl had reported. Quote, "The shooter visited the rally site a few days in advance to scope it out." Quote, 62 minutes elapsed between the time the shooter was photographed as being suspicious and when he fired the shots. 20 minutes elapsed between the time he was spotted by snipers and when he fired the first shots at President Donald Trump. Wow. FBI Director Wray said there's no known foreign nexus, but no established motive as of now. Shooter used encrypted comms and had little to no social media presence. Okay, let's talk about this. The snipers had spotted him 20 minutes prior to when he shot at the president and clipped his ear. 20 minutes? So people are saying, were there stand down orders? What was going on? We want to know more information, right? Obviously. This last point they made, the shooter used encrypted comms and had little to no social media presence. This news comes today after prior the FBI was saying, we're having a lot of trouble. I'm paraphrasing. The FBI said that they were having a difficult time accessing the suspect's phone in their investigation. And they said, yeah, we can't access the phone. We don't have any more information right at this time. And people were like, you can't access the phone? That's suspicious. But now they accessed the phone yesterday, and we hear that he was using encrypted communications. That's what comms is, encrypted comms. What are encrypted comms? Some people were asking me that today. To explain it simply, it's digitally scrambled texts, communications, usually through a phone. So certain apps will protect your information by encrypting it, scrambling up the data so you can't read it later. It's like a security thing. So he was using encryption with whatever communications were on his device, so they are having difficulty accessing it. And he has little to no social media presence. Who has no social media presence? Especially an adult, right? A young adult with no social media presence. Come on. Nothing or little to nothing? That's weird. Jason says Biden's stepping down. Jill has been silenced. Maybe. It seems like they're kind of inching towards that. I don't know how they're. I mean, I don't know. It is. People are. I think a lot of people agree with that. We'll see. So this is just wild. Just more questions. As more information comes out, we only have more questions. The sniper spotted the gunman 1 hour before the shooting occurred. They knew he had a spot finder, or what do they call them? Binoculars or whatever. Sorry, I don't think that's the right word, but you know what I mean. Man. I'm starting to get worked up again at this. Man, this stuff's like wild. All right, real quick, let me just reset, let you guys know what's going on after this. I'm going to stay live for probably about an hour at least or so. If anything's breaking that comes across your path, send it my way in the live chat or on X. You could tag me or DM me, and I'll go over anything breaking during this live stream. I appreciate your tips and your communications. Oh, rangefinder. Thank you, Army Mom. Yeah, it's a rangefinder. He had a rangefinder. Anyway, tonight at 8 p.m. Pacific time, I'm going to be hosting a space on X. That's a non-political space. At least we'll do our best. If it gets a little political, it's not the end of the world, but I just want to kind of take it easy. So at 8 p.m. tonight, you can join me on X. Follow me at ReadyF4Any and join the space. You could come up, speak. We're going to be talking about dreams, just very simply dreams and hanging out. So you can join me then. I hope to see you there. And make sure you like, subscribe wherever you are. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Real quick. Chuck says, Biden pulled the COVID card and now he don't have to do anything until DNC. That's funny. I can't wait to get to the rest of this news. That reminds me of something, but we'll just wait. Army Mom, what time zone? 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern time is when the space is scheduled to start. So if you go to my X profile, you can see it's on my page scheduled, and then I'll share it out again at 8 p.m. once I go there. 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern time. Just this hangout space. We're gonna laugh and joke, share some dreams, listen to random people's dreams from across the internet. Hopefully, some people tune in. If you've never done a space on X, or you don't even have an X account, I recommend making one, because all this news that we're talking about breaks first on X. So if you're not there, I mean, if you like news, you want to know what's happening, you want to get on board, follow the people in the chat like Jason and myself and Army Mom, and we start these conversations before these live streams happen. So, it's a good time. Plus, we do extracurricular things. We have conversations, we discuss these things in depth, and we share all of our ideas. So it's a lot of fun. Check it out. If you need help with it, we'll all help you figure out the technology. It's a lot of fun. So x.com, not a sponsor, but a good place. So anyway, let's get on with it. We got more news. Army Mom, yeah, please come share your dream tonight. I would love to hear it. I have a couple to share too. Copy, thank you for tuning in. Which, by the way, if you guys don't follow Copy, go follow Copy. He does some great, makes some great content. He says X is definitely ahead of the curve with breaking news. No kidding. No doubt. Without a doubt. No doubt. Well, whatever. My gosh, my X account's going wild. I got to check my messages real quick. I do have, what is this? Okay, thank you. All right. Nothing major, guys. Nothing major. We're going to carry on with the news. I still have a lot more stuff and some interesting things. So let's get right into it. All right. We had information come out today about the parents of the shooter, the gunman, which, like I said, more information comes out, more questions arise. My pleasure, Copy Who. This is from Vox, a clip from Vox. New parents of the Trump shooter, a fully grown adult, called law enforcement on the day of the assassination attempt to warn them that he was missing and they were worried about him. So the plot thickens. Let's check out this clip from Fox News.
We have just learned that the Trump rally shooter, Thomas Crook's parents, were looking for him in the hours leading up to the shooting. We're now told they eventually called law enforcement to report that Crooks was missing, and they were worried. And they also were told, those parents are now being cooperative now with authorities, but they gave them the heads up that something's going on with our son. We are worried. We don't know the texture or the details of their concerns. So in other words, well, were they worried that he had a gun? Were they worried? What were they worried about? Were they worried that he was going to try to attempt to kill a sitting president and then go ahead and turn into an assassin and kill another person and injure 2 others? It was an attempted assassination on Trump, but he managed to murder anyway. Are we talking about that? What were they giving the cops a heads up about? This is the first time we are hearing this. We'll stay on the story and we will bring you the details, updates as we get them. Crook's parents were looking for him hours ahead of the assassination attempt.
That's right. Wow, wow, wow. You can't make this stuff up. So we're waiting on more information on that. What did they know? Wow. Holy moly. Onward. There was more video that came out of the shooter prior to him climbing on the roof, walking around a field, looking at rooftops prior to the shooting. More footage is coming out. And I think I have at least 1 or 2 more videos of other angles, new footage that has been released from the rally on the 13th. So here we have new exclusive video showing the shooter walking around by himself, looking at rooftops near Trump. How was he not detained? DC Drano asks on X.com. Especially after getting caught with a rangefinder, as we just spoke about a minute ago. Here's the video. There he is in the background here, wearing shorts and looks like a gray shirt. There he is. Hello. I mean, come on. 1 hour before the shooting, the crook walking around, looking around. Wow. 3 hours before, Army Mom is saying 3 hours before. Jeez. And then the day prior, I guess there's reports that he was there as well. Just wild. Absolutely wild. Thank you. What is this? Oh, that's something else. Anyway, onward. Trump campaign has responded to Kamala Harris's request for a vice presidential debate. After J.D. Vance was announced as Trump's vice presidential candidate, Kamala immediately said, "Hey, I'd love to debate you." And the Trump campaign put out an official response today, July 17th. And here's that response. This just cracked me up. The Trump campaign response to vice presidential debates was this, quote, "We don't know who the Democrat nominee for vice president is going to be, so we can't lock in a date before their convention. To do so would be unfair to Gavin Newsom, J.B. Pritzker, Gretchen Whitmer, or whoever Kamala Harris picks as her running mate." Brian Hughes, Trump campaign senior advisor. Yeah. So even the Trump campaign, to me, still has a sense of humor, even though this is all happening. They're basically saying Kamala Harris is going to be running instead of Joe Biden. It's so funny. And they're not committing to a date for a vice presidential debate because it's up in the air still. Cannot make this stuff up. Geez. Army Mom, isn't that ridiculous? That is the official Donald Trump campaign response. My gosh. Falu, I did not see any other pictures. If you want to send them, and if they're confirmed as real, and send me some sources, I'll be happy to share that. I don't know if that's real or not, Falu. Wow. My gosh. Again, thank you guys. I'm live right now on X, YouTube, Rumble, DLive, as well as Pilled. So all of you from all those places, thank you. Shout out to all of y'all. Appreciate it. All right, Trump senior advisor Dan Scavino. He is saying that President Trump was made for this moment. Breitbart reported on this. President Trump was made for this moment, Trump senior advisor Dan Scavino said ahead of the kickoff of the Republican National Convention, noting that, quote, that the, quote, past 36 hours has been the most surreal in our lifetime. Yep. Trump team is looking forward to the week ahead at the 2024 GOP National Convention here in Milwaukee. Yep. By the way, we got more on that. And because I'll get to it. Onward. Let's take a look at this. Trump from Truth Social today. He said, quote, from a political standpoint, an unprecedented event is happening. The Dems are trying again to get Biden off the ballot. That was from Trump today, 8 a.m., bright and early. And then, of course, you get a meme. Remove Cheadle. People want Cheadle to resign. A lot of people are calling for her resignation. Let's check if we have any updates from Donald J. Trump. Negative. That's pretty much one of the latest. I think he did have an interesting statement yesterday. Yeah, where he said this. This is Trump. Quote, the radical left Democrats are desperately trying to play the ref by calling for an illegal and unconstitutional attack on our sacred United States Supreme Court. The reason that these communists are so despondent is that their unlawful witch hunts are failing everywhere. And weird, he capitalized the L in unlawful here. He says, quote, the Democrats are attempting to interfere in the presidential election and destroy our justice system by attacking their political opponent, me, and our honorable Supreme Court. We have to fight for our fair and independent courts and protect our country, MAGA 2024. And we'll wait for more. And of course, yesterday it was kind of odd. Well, I guess not odd. It's just what it is. Donald Trump met with Prime Minister Boris Johnson, and he calls him a very fine guy. So that was just interesting. Trump there with his bandaged ear and meeting with Boris Johnson. What is this? Chuck, I'd love to see hillbilly. What is this? I don't know exactly what you mean by that. What hillbilly are you referring to there? All right. And let's go back to the Secret Service Director, Kimberly Cheadle, her previous experience, by the way, is working for PepsiCo. Elon Musk pointed this out, saying, before she was in charge of everything having to do with protecting the president and the Secret Service, she protected Cheetos from being stolen or whatever. Leading reports had a breaking thing from this morning. Breaking, quote, Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle admits that the Secret Service was, quote, solely responsible for the design, the implementation, and the execution of the site of the former president's rally in Pennsylvania. This means that there's a standard operating procedure. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's even classified for the Secret Service, but it's pretty widely accepted from all these conversations I'm hearing that a building 300 feet away, or however far it was, would typically be secured. And it's my understanding that it was. Kimberly Cheadle came out, though, and said it was unsafe. They didn't want to put somebody on top because it was a sloped roof, and she didn't want anybody to get hurt. People are like, well, what about the other sloped roofs with people on top? What about the White House's sloped roofs and the security on top of that? What about, it's just people are like, really? That's your excuse for not having somebody up there? She said it was too dangerous to have somebody on top of the roof because it was sloped. And the slope, by the way, is like this. It's like one of the most gradual roofs slopes that you can have before being completely flat, the pitch of that roof is like one of those least dangerous pitches on a roof that you could have. She said it was too dangerous. So what they did was they secured the inside of the building. So there were agents inside the building as the shooter climbed up and took a shot at Donald Trump. This close to having just probably the worst day in American history. Or, you know, who knows? Just saying. Oh, J.D. Vance wrote that book and it plays on Netflix. Oh, and the word salad is Kamala. Cackling Kamala. Thank you. Yeah. Have you guys watched J.D. Vance's book or the movie on Netflix? I heard the book was fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and read that. So J.D. Vance, I don't know. I'll have to check that out. I heard great things about it. Mm-hmm. So people are calling for Kimberly Cheadle to step down immediately. They cannot believe that that was not secured and that this unfolded the way it did, especially as more information comes out. Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle needs to step down immediately. This is a tweet from the U.S. Senator for Utah, Mike Lee. He said, quote, "Today's mostly information-free briefing only confirmed that. What little information she gave us was at once deeply troubling and glaringly incomplete. Also, they weren't taking questions. That's weird. I mean, don't you guys want to like put a little bit of reassurance in the American people and answer some questions? No. Sue French, where did the missed shots go? Not found? Well, my understanding is that there's an ongoing investigation. It could take weeks to months before they put this information out. They've got to protect people's rights and all this. They're going to interview everybody. It's their process, and there's multiple investigations surrounding it. So we are just going to have to wait on what the FBI, what Joe Biden's independent investigation, and what any other investigations going on have to say, right? Yeah, so sources familiar with the call said that some people were prohibited from asking questions during to the Secret Service during the call. They allegedly, Senators Blackburn, Cruz, and Lee, among others, were left in the queue and not allowed to ask questions of the agency that they fund and oversee. So people are like, come on, is there some kind of, what's going on here? Why isn't there more transparency? You can't even ask questions? Very odd. And a great question, Sue. I would love to know all the details of this, and hopefully we could get some honest reporting and disclosure and some closure of this situation and some law and order. That'll be the day, huh? All right, y'all. I'm going to take a quick few-minute break here, and we're going to get right back and go through the rest of this news. I'm going to check for anything breaking, too, so we could cover that when I get back. And we're going to keep this going for about another hour or so. So thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, and stick around because I'll be back here in just probably 3 or 4 minutes. Go grab a snack, get your popcorn, whatever you want to go do. Go to the restroom, and we'll be back here very soon. So I'll be right back. guys. I'm back. I apologize for that. I was having some technical difficulties. I am back though. Let me get a 5-5 if y'all are here. Am I okay? Am I still live? My goodness. Let me just check on the streams here. Yeah, it looks like we're still streaming. Thank you everybody for being here. Please like, retweet, or repost this or share it if you're listening on YouTube or wherever you're listening. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you all very, very much. We're good. So if you're just tuning in today, it's been announced Joe Biden has COVID. We got more information about the assassination attempt on Trump, of his parents being in contact with the police, looking for their son, as well as video of the shooter walking around, looking up at the building. The shooter apparently, allegedly, pardon me, I think I have to sneeze. The shooter allegedly being approached with a spot finder, or what do they call it? Gosh, it keeps escaping me. And not being detained. The sharpshooter having him in the sights for minutes, 20 minutes plus, and not firing a shot. Why? People are asking. The investigation's ongoing. Subpoenas have been issued. A subpoena issued to Cheadle herself, who was in charge of the Secret Service. Kimberly Cheadle. People want her to step down. She's not. Maybe she will in the coming days. So we should hear more from her on Monday if she complies with the subpoena. That's the 22nd. So we're waiting on that. Monday is going to be a big one. And I'm sure every day is. Thank you. Thank you all. Just checking the chats there. So, I mean, what a day. What a day. Rangefinder. That's it. Thank you, Falou. And let me check this. Somebody sent me this. I just want to see what it is real quick. All right. Anything breaking as this is live? Yeah, I'm not going to share that, Falou. That's, I don't know if that's real or what. Rangefinder, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, onward here. And then we just covered right before the break that sources are saying that multiple senators were prohibited from asking any questions to the Secret Service today, raising more questions of why aren't they taking questions? So, and of course, Politico reported the Democratic Party is in complete disarray. They are panicking. They are, how did they word it? They worded it as a quote, total meltdown as all of this unfolds. So they've isolated Joe Biden, who's tested positive for COVID today, canceled his speech at an event, I think in Vegas, if I'm not mistaken. So who knows how long they'll keep Joe in the basement out of the public sight. People say that they're getting ready to replace him. Chuck Schumer calling for that, and others as well. Democrats, celebrities, the public. We have here a new angle, some new footage showing the Secret Service rushing Trump to safety. This is just another angle that somebody has finally put on the internet. I wanted to share that with you guys. Actually, it's been taken down, huh? Oh, hold on. I think I just have an error in my notes. Let me see. No, it's still there. Okay. New footage shows the Secret Service rushing Trump to safety. I'm going to play it with no sound because I think somebody put, yeah, it's got just, I don't know why, it's got horrible music playing over it. So let me share this with you guys. This is new footage. Check it out. There's Trump being taken down the stairs. There's one agent crouched down right there. I'm going to go back, start from the beginning. They're taking Trump, escorting him off the stage. There's an agent right here crouched down, which is kind of odd that he's hiding right there with that group of people or whatever he's doing. I don't know. There's the agent in the front there, that female Secret Service agent everybody's making memes about. And here they are. And even as Trump enters the vehicle, he puts his fist up in the air. And then he's put in the vehicle. Let's just let this play one more time. Another angle from the 13th. There they go. very interesting to see all this new footage come out. So there you have it, folks. And again, as Trump enters the vehicle, putting his fist up in the air again and getting in the vehicle. And then after that, he is taken to the hospital, where I kind of want to go back to that hospital footage because it's remarkable how the hospital employees reacted to Trump arriving to their facility. So let's take a quick look again at this from the cell phone footage of the hospital when Trump was whisked away and brought there for medical attention.
We're front row, and my friend saw blood coming out of his head.
Oh my God! He cut his head out of his chest. Oh Jesus! There he is.
Oh, there he is. There he is. There he is.
There he is. Shit. Oh, thank God. He's walking.
He's walking. He's walking.
Wow.
We're front row, and my friend saw blood coming out of his head.
Oh my God! He cut his head out of his chest. Oh Jesus! There he is.
Oh, there he is. There he is. There he is.
There he is. Shit. Oh, thank God. He's walking.
He's walking. He's walking.
They were so relieved to hear that he was walking, or to see him walk out of the vehicle where then he was treated. So, wow. Wow, wow, wow. One moment. All right. All right, onward. We got more. This is Wendy P. Wendy on X putting out more information about this sniper. So she writes this morning or this afternoon, quote, breaking news, a local Pennsylvania sniper took a shot at Crook, but it wasn't the kill shot. The kill shot came from the Secret Service, and the local Pennsylvania sniper has now been placed on administrative leave. Also just in, that there were 7 local Pennsylvania police on traffic detail who were not assigned to rally coverage, that they left their traffic detail to investigate the pictures that were sent in of a man on the roof in question. That brings several answers from the Secret Service director during her interview under extra scrutiny. She claimed that the building had assigned officers inside of it because the roof was too steep to put officers on it. Jurisdiction early on was said to be divided between Secret Service and local Pennsylvania police. Now, Pennsylvania police is saying that they weren't responsible for the outer perimeter and that they only had 7 traffic officers on duty. So we're seeing the blame game. We saw the Secret Service say, oh, that was the police, and the police were saying, no, this is what's going on. And so, like I said, more facts come out, more questions arise. Donald Trump is going to be attending the funeral of Corey Comparator, the firefighter that was killed during the assassination attempt. Santino at Michael S. Colura went on X, and he said that, quote, President Donald Trump will attend the private funeral planned this week for firefighter Corey Comparator, who was killed during the assassination attempt this week, last weekend. The Post has learned. He writes, Comparator was supporting Trump at the Saturday campaign rally when shots rang out from a nearby rooftop in Butler, Pennsylvania. A shooter nicked Trump's right ear, killing Comparator and severely wounding 2 others. That suspect, identified as Thomas Matthew Crooks, was killed. Asked whether Trump would attend the father of two's funeral 1 week after surviving the assassination attempt, a source close to the former president told the Post, quote, of course he is. Earlier this week, Trump called the Comparator's wife to convey his condolences. So yeah, of course Trump's going. I mean, Trump's known for doing stuff like that. In other news with Trump and him being president, it's going around that Trump is considering JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon for the U.S. Treasury Secretary, per the New York Post. Yeah. So I saw people talking about this. Donald Trump is considering JP Morgan's CEO Jamie Dimon for U.S. Treasury Secretary, per the New York Post. People are concerned with some of the people close to Trump. even with JD Vance, people are worried that there's some bad eggs there. But that was just some news that we got today as well. So probably in about 15 minutes, I think it's scheduled to be in 15 minutes, Peter Navarro, who got out of jail today, is headed right to the RNC. He'll be speaking around 6:30 p.m. Central. So I guess that's in quite a while, about an hour and a half, whatever. So that's an interesting little tidbit of news today. Very interesting. Yesterday, people were saying the RNC was like Rhino Night. You had Ron DeSantis and others. People were just like, ugh, why are these people speaking? It was, but it was pretty great nonetheless, despite all the rhinos that took the stage. Anyway. In other news, Gaza. Oh my gosh. 320 US tax dollars, 320 million US tax dollars were used to build this Gaza pier. And it fell apart. And now it's being announced that the pier is to be permanently dismantled because of the continued weather issues, according to officials. So that $320 million was all kind of for nothing. I've heard different theories about this pier, that it was just meant for one-time use and that they basically destroyed it in moving something way too heavy, and that it was weather that destroyed it, all this stuff, and speculation is what that is. But now they're dismantling it, and that's not going to be cheap either. I wonder if they're going to have to send more money or what. But anyway, with people questioning the Secret Service and asking if why a shot wasn't taken earlier, if there was so much knowledge prior to the shooting, and what happened, people are saying, were you told, was the sharpshooter told to stand down? Why wasn't a shot taken? And there's also things circulating online that are unconfirmed that there was a stand down order, but we're waiting for confirmation and for the investigation to put out whatever information they put out. But with that going around, that there were stand down orders, people are going back into video footage from 1963 and looking at the Secret Service agents that were there during the JFK assassination, and they're saying the same thing, that at that time, maybe this footage shows that the agent is giving a stand down order just prior to that assassination. Here's that video where they say that there is a stand down order from an agent. So there is this footage here. There's the president in the convertible, this agent running to the right. He stops, he turns around here, and he waves his hands like in an open manner. Everyone kind of looks at him confused, and they kind of stand back as the convertible drives away. Shortly after this is when shots were taken at the president at that time. We're going to let that play again. They're saying this moment coming up in a second is a stand down order, and that they got out of the way. And this was basically the conspiracy here, is that it was a setup. And of course, it's pretty widely accepted that in this case there were multiple shooters, etc., etc. So people are speculating on that to be the case with what happened at the rally, although this is all speculation. Like I said, I'm just waiting for the official reports. But with how long this is taking, a lot of people are sharing the information, and then it ends up being broken on the news hours later. So we'll see how it all shakes out. But there's some interesting footage there from 1963. Wow. Nikki Haley spoke last night at the convention, and there's this really funny clip going around. Everybody was giving her a hard time. They're like, why is she speaking? People like Nikki Haley now? I don't, right? I don't, whatever. People are saying that. So when she was there, she claimed that Trump asked her to speak at the RNC, and then Trump, you could see Trump, you can't hear him, but you could see Trump talking to somebody, and he's saying, well, actually, let's try to read his lips. Let me play the clip, and then we'll go over this. It's pretty darn hilarious.
President Trump asked me to speak to this convention in the name of unity. President Trump asked
So
me
it
to
says
speak
here,
to the
Trump to Vance, quote, she actually wanted to speak. Here we go. She wanted.
this convention
She
in the
actually
name
wanted to
of
speak.
unity.
Let's watch Trump's lips. Yep. Trump. Actually, she wanted to speak. She wanted to speak. And I don't know. That's lip reading. It does kind of seem like that, though. It's really funny. Maybe Trump will come out and say something on that, but that's so funny that if that's true, that's absolutely hilarious. And here we have another copy. Let's go to Copy's comment real quick. Copy who says there are a lot of questionable people at the RNC. I'm grossed out when they're nasty and then they're on the same side. Vance has also said some horrible things and now he's vice president. Sketches me out. Yeah, a lot of people are asking questions about Vance and saying they're not happy with that choice based on the things that have happened in the past. I've seen good arguments for and against him, though, and I think he did come out and try to explain why he had said certain things about Trump at those times, and people were satisfied with that. Some not, but some yes. Onward. We've got another angle of President Trump's Butler, Pennsylvania rally. Somebody filmed this from the front row immediately after the attempt on President Trump's life. This was posted this morning. They said they weren't comfortable with sharing it, and they're ready to share it, so they did. This is from Brick Suit on X, and give him a follow if you'd like. But this is the footage that he shared with us today.
The president's been shot. Oh no. No. Either that or they're covering. We don't know. Either that or they're covering him. We love you. We love you, President Trump. We love you. We love you, President Trump. We love you. Yes. 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 We love you, President Trump. Oh, he's shot. He's shot. Oh, who did it?
Wow.
He's shot. It could just be his ear. He's shot. It could just be his ear. He's walking. He's walking. Who did it? Dude, that's fucking wild.
Wow. So another angle. It's good to have all this information out there. Joe says, I'm a little worried about Vance. Yeah, I think a lot of people are, but man, what can we do? That's Trump's choice, I guess. All right. Well, what a day, guys. Let me see what else is breaking here and check my messages real quick, see if anyone sent something. Thank you to everybody who's subscribed today. I see I Don't Recall and others following. Thank you so much. Please like, comment, share this as well. And we're going to take a quick look here. If there's anything else breaking aside from what we've covered real quick. All right. Moments ago, Trump has arrived for day 3 at the RNC. He's there every single day. Meanwhile, Joe Biden has COVID and they're isolating him and has canceled all his events. So Trump's there again. RSBN's live streaming the event. Here's Van Jones. Oh my gosh. Van Jones on Trump and Biden.
A bullet couldn't stop Trump. A virus just stopped Biden. You've got the nominees of this party getting their butts kissed. Biden's getting his butt kicked by his own party. The Democrats are coming apart. The Republicans are coming together. A bullet.
Wow. A bullet couldn't stop Trump. A virus just stopped Biden, he says. And that's being aired on CNN, talking about how the Democrat Party's falling apart. I guess this just goes back to to the statement Politico made that the Democrat, pardon me, that the Democratic Party is in total meltdown. Total meltdown. That's what they're saying. Wow. All right, so we've got the RNC going on. Maybe we'll live stream a little bit of that. Breaking on one said the ship is sinking. Brain dead. MSNBC host Joy Reid says Trump almost being murdered was a photo op, and suggests Biden surviving COVID will be the exact same thing as Trump escaping death. What kind of crazy narrative are they putting out there? What? That is just absurd. Wow. People are not happy with some of these news organizations. I'll tell you that, looking at what people are saying here. All right, let me check here. And then I think we're going to go and we're going to live stream some of the speeches. If there's anyone speaking right now at the convention, I'll be interested to see some of that. Politico are reporting the Democrat Party is in total meltdown. President Joe Biden has tested positive for COVID. We know all this. Secret Service was aware of the threat about 10 minutes prior to Trump walking on stage. Still let it happen. My gosh. Here's a new visualization model. I don't know if you guys seen this yet. It shows how close the shot was to getting Donald Trump. An interesting little animation. Here is the crosshairs. This is just a mock-up Trump turning and his ear being the only thing being hit. Very interesting. And we saw some other renditions as well. Some, I forget who it was on YouTube that made a 3D model of it, which was pretty cool. Yesterday, we had a 20-year-old male suspect arrested with a ski mask and armed with an AK-47 near the Republican National Convention. Officials have reported that a 21-year-old man armed with an AK-47 pistol and wearing a ski mask was arrested Monday near the Fiserv Forum, where the Republican National Convention is being held. Homeland Security investigators and Capitol Police, who were conducting surveillance, noticed the suspicious man. After arresting the suspect, they found the gun and a full magazine inside his tactical bag. His intentions remain unclear. Wow. Well, at least security is catching these wild, wild people. That was yesterday. So, I mean, good googly moogly. All right. Let me pull this up. Let me just check Donald Trump, see if he's put anything else out. He's pretty busy, so I think we're not going to hear anything until probably late tonight or tomorrow morning from Donald Trump. But let's take a quick look and see if we could pull up the Republican National Convention and see who's speaking. Anybody worth our while, or if anything, as that stuff starts going to, we're going to be hearing about it. So good. So let's see, RNC. Pull up the live stream, and I'm trying to find out what's the best source here. It's I don't want to watch it on any of these. Where was I watching it yesterday? I forget. Gosh, C-SPAN? I guess we could check out C-SPAN. I don't know. Here's the mother of late Marine Corps Corporal Hunter Lopez. She's talking about Afghanistan right now. My gosh. This is very heartbreaking. I'm going to try to find a different source real quick. Yesterday at the convention was very a tearjerker too, wasn't it? Did you guys catch it? Oh my goodness. It really was. So looks like tonight is the same. People are really coming together. You know, and I would hope that the left and right comes together after such a horrific week. Really, I mean, why not? I don't know. What do you guys see as the sentiment of your friends and family? Are people happy or what? What's going on? You know, do you have liberals in your family or Democrats? Are they still voting for Biden? I think a lot of people changed their mind before this week, and this week has just made it even better for Donald Trump. I'll be honest with you. To be fair, I really do. Here we go. I guess we'll go here. All right. Let's listen to this for a moment.
Work to protect themselves rather than our sons and daughters who took the oath to defend our country.
Thank you. When Hunter and the other service members' bodies were returned to the U.S. in Dover, Delaware, Joe Biden met the plane. But he made the occasion more about his son, lost to cancer, than our sons and daughters, lost on his watch. Worse than that, he has never said their names out loud. And during last month's debate, he claimed no service members have died during his administration. None. That hurt us all deeply. So Alicia and I
I'm sorry, I'm muted. My bad. Thank you, Copy. I wanted to go back to this real quick, and we'll go back to the RNC live here in a moment. But check this out. We were talking about the DJT stock being shorted, and here's more information. And this was shorted a day prior to the assassination attempt. We saw an abnormal increase of short positions being put on the Donald Trump stock, which means people were betting that the stock would crash. So why was there an increase one day prior with this stock? We don't know, unless people maybe had information beforehand. It says here, quote, a company called Austin Private Wealth LLC shorted 12 million shares of DJT via a put option. The filing date is July 12th, the day before the assassination attempt. They have around $1 billion in assets under management, and this is by far the largest put placed. According to a source, the trade represents 6% of total shares and over 16% of the float of the stock, given the fact that Trump owns 60% of the company. This is a giant bet when you consider their total AUM, but wait, there's more. The shot shows the put that was taken. Oh, gosh, my. Oh, good googly moogly. Testing 1 2 testing. Sorry guys, I apologize here. So we're going to continue on with this interesting trade of put options a day prior to the assassination attempt on Trump. It says here, quote, to make things even more interesting, my source tipped me off with the following 2 images from their Bloomberg terminal. The screenshot on the left shows the put by Austin Private Wealth LLC that was taken earlier this morning, July 17th. It shows the 120,000 puts. As you can see, their position is by far the largest. The next closest is Citadel Advisors with 16,770. Here's where it gets interesting. The screenshot to the right was taken later in the day, and poof, Austin Private Wealth LLC is nowhere to be found. Why? Whoa. So the put data is now being scrubbed or something, or how? I don't understand how the data works when it comes to this kind of trading and whatnot, but why is that the case? If anybody's familiar with trading and is following this and has more information, send me a message on X or comment. Thank you, Kim. Good to see you too. Thanks for tuning in. Wow. This is huge. This is crazy. So the fact that it looks like just coincidentally there was a huge increase in put options, people betting in the stock market that Donald Trump's stock would crash a day prior to his assassination attempt. What does that mean? Just a stinking coincidence? Is that what it is? I don't know, guys. I don't know. Wow. This story is going to be huge. And it looks like the data is already changing somehow, some way, for some reason. Which is very, very concerning. I don't think that's a normal occurrence. It's very odd. Very odd. Thank you, Rumi. Thank you, Rumi. All right, I'm just checking the chats real quick. We're going to get back, check out what else is going on. That is just wild. By the way, guys, at 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern time, I'm going to be hosting a space on X. If you follow me at ReadyF4NE, you can join that space and listen or join the conversation. We're just going to be having a good time. So hope to see you there at 8 p.m. Pacific time. And that's about an hour and a half. So we're going to be doing that in an hour and a half. So hope to see you there. Let's see what's going on with the RNC. Here's Trump. I'm going to wait for the next speaker here, and then we'll see. Chuck says they got their stock tip from the best. Nancy Pelosi and her insider trading, of course. It looks like they're at commercial, so we'll just wait a minute. Trump came out with some new ads and stuff too. It's pretty cool. Here we have, is this the same clip? A bullet couldn't stop Trump. A virus just stopped Biden. Van Jones. Yeah, we saw that. We saw that from a minute ago. It's pretty great. Let's see. Did the AI bubble just burst? Zero Hedge talking about AI and the economy. Joy Reid minimizing Trump's scenario this week and maximizing Biden. People are not too enthused with MSNBC and these other media organizations. Well, let's listen to what Joe Rogan had to say about the situation. I have not seen this clip. I'm curious to see what Joe Rogan's reporting on his thoughts of what's occurred. At least his opinion has probably changed by now, but this is probably just his initial reaction. Let's see that have come out today with more information and the shooter and the subpoena being issued, which, by the way, we should hear more on Monday unless the subpoena is ignored by Kimberly Cheadle. All right. That's scheduled for July 22nd. So that was big today, subpoena. Maybe we'll hear more on Monday. We're certainly going to hear more on everything before then, though. So make sure you subscribe, turn on your notifications, and we'll cover all this breaking news and whatnot. And I just want to mention this again. How weird is it that they couldn't access the phone data of the shooter? And then they finally did 24 hours later, approximately. And they said, there's nothing there. There's not much social media stuff. And the communications that he used are encrypted, so we can't access them. Come on. I'm being told that, no, they can access the encryption. Okay. This isn't their first walk in the park. All right. This isn't their first rodeo. But it's just more suspicious parts of this whole narrative situation going on. Weird. Absolutely weird. I wonder if Elon Musk has gone on said anything lately. I do want to jump over to this, though. We had a Bill Eigel. He said this quote today: "We're going to surround Donald Trump because I think we all feel pretty good that he's going to be successful in November. We've got a real responsibility and a real opportunity that I think Donald Trump is going to embrace, and he's going to lead this country to that vision of America. He's going to unite all of us by delivering on that promise that is in this election. We can take the opportunity of the most important election we've ever had to make government smaller and make America great again." That's from X. Wow. There's a lot of people supporting Trump nowadays, y'all. All right. Is anyone speaking at the RNC right now? What do we got going on here? A singer performance. All right. Fair enough. All right, y'all. Let's see what else we got going on. Just say, Chuck, I'm not sure what you mean by that. If you clarify, that'd be good. All right, just to recap here. Politico says the Democratic Party is in total meltdown. Joe Biden came out, canceled his event because he's sick with COVID. They're going to be self-isolated. He's going to be self-isolating. People are suspicious of that. Donald Trump's stock was shorted the day prior to his assassination attempt, and that data is mysteriously changing and it's mysteriously what has been there is disappearing, and people are trying to see who was shorting this, and it looks like they know. So that's going to be interesting when people continue to dig into that. That's all kind of just breaking right now. Was there prior knowledge to this, and how? Just before Biden came out and said he has COVID, he said he'd consider dropping out of the race if a medical condition was diagnosed by doctors. And then meanwhile, Chuck Schumer and everybody else is saying Joe Biden probably shouldn't be president. That'd probably be the best thing for the country. My gosh. So that's where we're at. What's going to happen next? I think a lot of people are just saying it's a matter of time before they find a replacement for Joe Biden. So Kamala Harris reacted to JD Vance as Trump's pick for vice president, saying that she'd be happy to debate. And the Trump campaign responded, and they said this. This is just absolutely hilarious. I love this. This is like one of my favorite things that happened today. This was the Trump campaign's response. We don't know who the Democrat nominee for vice president is going to be, so we can't lock in a debate for their convention. To do so would be unfair to Gavin Newsom, J.B. Pritzker, Gretchen Whitmer, or whoever Kamala Harris picks as her running mate. That was from Brian Hughes, Trump campaign senior advisor today. Just hilarious. Let me check their campaign to see if they put anything else out today. Just hilarious. That is so funny, guys. Cannot make this stuff up. Let me give this a refresh. Who do we got speaking now? All right. So yeah, there's that response. Just comical. You cannot make. How is this still funny when the former president, was nearly assassinated? Even Trump has a fantastic attitude. They talked about that in the Rogan clip, that he's on the golf course the next morning, not even 24 hours later, joking about the incident. Just wild. Absolutely wild. Let's see. What do we got? Anything new breaking, y'all? I'm sure we'll have some good clips here later on in the night. Joe Biden put out an X message 2 hours ago. I'm sick. Kellyanne Conway. Kellyanne Conway said tonight, 8 years ago. Actually, why don't we just go ahead and watch it? Yeah, let's watch this. This is from Right Side, or what is it? RSBN. Let's check it out.
Good evening, Patriots. 8 years ago, Donald Trump shocked the system and defied the doubters to become the 45th president of the United States. Mm-hmm. He didn't want fortune or fame, power and position. He already had all of that. Donald Trump and his family made enormous sacrifices to run and to serve as president. He didn't need to do it. He wanted to do it. My relationship with Mr. Trump was forged under fire in a foxhole in 2016 after he asked me to be his campaign manager. We had no idea that he was making history as the first successful presidential nominee ever to tap a woman to lead a campaign. But that was a natural for Donald J. Trump. He had elevated women in New York real estate decades before when few people would. One morning, I was in an early senior staff meeting in the White House, and as I glanced around the table, something caught my eye. In that meeting were Sarah Huckabee Sanders, Mercedes Schlapp, Brooke Rollins, Ivanka Trump, and me. I soon realized that among us, we have 19 children. At the time, ages 2 through 16. Show me a C-suite in America where 5 working moms of 19 young children could have the highest rank in the company and work alongside the president.
There we have it. Make America Great Again. Once again, that was from today in Wisconsin. All right, y'all. So now we still have multiple witnesses recounting multiple shooters at the rally. We had information come out that there was a phone call from the shooter's family expressing concern that they were looking for their adult son for some reason. We're waiting for more information on that. Just Cheadle saying they didn't put anybody on the roof where the shooter was taken down because it was sloped and dangerous. And that they instead secured it from the inside. Again, more facts, more questions. The shooter being approached a long time before the shooting, like what, an hour they reported? Just, they still let Trump go on stage. Why? I don't know. More questions. And the investigation continues. That's for sure. People are just making memes, joking about the sloped roof. Nobody believes the sloped roof excuse because we see the Secret Service on sloped roofs all the time. So that doesn't make any sense. It's a very odd thing to have said. People are just putting stuff like this out there. Here's a cow on a sloped roof. No problem. Yeah. It's too dangerous. Just ridiculous. People with their memes, I can't. You guys are just absolutely. People on X are just. Something's wrong with you guys. It's so funny. The things that come out just instantly as news breaks. People just have the most creative memes. So share those with me on X. Follow me at ReadyF4Any. Make sure you subscribe and turn your notifications on. Hit the like button. Leave a comment. All that good jazz. I appreciate you all for tuning in. I'm gonna go have a quick bite to eat. In 1 hour though, I'm going to be hosting a space on X, so join me there, join the conversation, and we're going to just start talking about a non-political stuff, but we could always digress, and maybe we'll go political. If anything breaks or any news breaks, we're going to have that conversation about the breaking news, but I think we've pretty much covered most of what's happening tonight, aside from the RNC, if anybody has anything great to say there, which I'm sure it's just going to be filled with it, but man, I don't want to sit here and cry. I mean, these stories are remarkable, but man, yesterday was intense with their stories, and tonight it looks like it's a very emotional night at the RNC again because everybody just wants to make America great again, and we've all gone through so much, and some more than others, so that's why that is kind of the vibes. And not to mention, I mean, the attempt on Donald Trump's life on the 13th, gosh, that's why I this image of Donald Trump is just, look at, I forget, do I have it here? Hold on, let me see. This image of Donald Trump, I do have it. Let me grab it right here. Look at Donald Trump's face. He looks different. People are noticing he looks peaceful, somber. He looks different. Alex says, I can't put my finger on it exactly, but he just looks much more happy and at peace. Look at Trump. This is from the other day, I think yesterday. Tucker in the background. Look at Trump. I mean, gosh, this is the feeling I feel like of the entire country right now, for the most part. And we're going to stay on top of everything happening. Oops. We're going to stay on top of everything happening, and I'll be going live and sharing all the breaking news and whatnot and hosting spaces on X. So I hope to see you guys over there. Come in there, join the party, and meet some new people, share some ideas and whatnot. We're going to be talking about dreams and experiences. So bust out the dream journal and come join us. And it's going to be a good, just kind of hang out, fun space. Like I said, unless anything breaks, in that case, we'll switch gears. But if you guys have anything else you want to add, you have any questions and thoughts and opinions, let me know in the comments. What do you think about JD Vance? What do you think about Cheadle? Is she going to resign in the next few days? Just all these things. Is Joe Biden, are they pushing him out? Is COVID the excuse? Is, the doctor? It's just like Joe Rogan put it the best. Is this the Matrix? Is this real life? What is going on? Who's writing this? This seems surreal. It really does. So we'll stick to it. And I thank you all again for tuning in. Thank you for everybody who supports me. It means the world to me. I appreciate you all very much. Good to see some familiar faces there. Sermons and Army Mom and RM. And we've got Jonathan and Chuck and Kim and Joe and Sue and Falou and everybody else. Rumi, all of you all. Thank you all and everyone else. I didn't just say so much for your continuous support. I'll be live again soon, so take care. God bless and Godspeed.